Hello everybody, welcome back to the Stickbot channel, and we gotta talk about these new 2D Stickbot shorts. They are just so weird. It looks like Zing is restructuring again. If y'all somehow don't know, Stickbot Central has been posting all these 2D Stickbot shorts mixed in with their regular stop motion shorts. Now, what appears to be happening is while they're working on the Off the Grid prequel and potentially other things behind the scenes we don't know about, along with a potential restructuring, they're experimenting with a lot cheaper and easier form of content to produce. But the main issue is how they're going about it. And there's a lot. I have a literal list of stuff to talk about. There's just so much. This content is very clearly designed to be repurposed. Like, they can take animations of the Stickbots, like change the colors and the faces around. These videos are like little 2D Stickbot like skits, and some are kind of just nothing, almost filler content, and a weird amount of them are just them flirting with their child audience. I think right now the biggest issue is they're just putting out way too much content. Like, they're dropping so many of these, and there are quite a few that just kind of feel like nothing posts. Does that make sense? Like, nothing really of value happens in them, and they borderline feel like filler. This makes it feel like they're cheaping out and there is no substance and no worth behind these shorts, when I feel like that really isn't the case. I think what they should really do is just post less and put more effort and animation and time into proper skits and actually well done videos. Now, aside from when these shorts are just borderline cringe, there are quite a few that stand out to me. There are a bunch that have like weirdly well done and expressive 2D animation, which is weird because it feels like this is so out of the blue. They've never really predominantly done 2D animation before, and considering they just started, they're doing really well. They are clearly very good animators. Then there are also those shorts where the animation quality is less good, and I think that happens from there being multiple people on the team, they're just starting, there are growing pains to work out, and we're probably not seeing these shorts in the order that they were created. It is very obvious they made like a huge backlog that they're kind of emptying out onto Stickbot Central right now. So I think as they continue to do this with anything, the growing pains will slowly be worked out. But seriously, there are a few shorts and you can tell when they really put in effort, like they're doing a great job animating these characters. 2D Stickbot animation is not easy, and they're pulling it off on the first try. That deserves to be commended, even if, like I said, some of them can be a little cringe. Dark Race Stickbots, do not act like this. These shorts are all being posted onto Stickbot Central itself, which I think is part of the problem and is what is leading a lot of people to think that these are just like brain rot, worthless shorts, and that Stickbot is falling off again. Whereas on Instagram, they don't post all of them on the Stickbot Central account. There is another account called Stickbot Studio that they post most of them on. And as I was going through, I did notice, I think a few might have gone taken down, that or they just for whatever reason didn't post all of them onto there. But if they are getting taken down, that is very, very interesting. I wonder why. So I think the biggest thing that they need to work out is just posting way too much. And here's the awkward part. A lot of these I think a little over 50%, probably a lot more than 50% of the videos they're posting are quite literally Stickbots flirting with their child audience. And if it's not that, it's Stickbots flirting with each other. I mean, that's weird, but whatever. That is just, it's not even, it's just a bad look. It's really weird. It's one thing to be like, oh yeah, I love all my fans, but it's like, a lot of them are the Stickbots calling the viewer like cute or that they're hot. And that's just a little weird. And then the icing on the cake. What is this video?
The person that sent you this wants you to know.
I think you're great and I think you're pretty. I hope it's okay if I grab your hand.
Stickbots don't even have hands or the other body part. Like, that is nuts. I think Stickbot needs to go back to their roots and be a bit more on the edgy side, aim for that teenager, young adult demographic like they used to. But there's edgy and then there's downright inappropriate. Now, I don't think Stickbots should be like restricted to children, okay? My videos aren't aimed at children. They're just aimed at, anybody. But these videos are being posted on Stickbot Central, the account that is on all of the packaging of all the Stickbots, right next to the ages 4 and up. This is supposed to represent the brand that is quite literally aimed at children. This is flat out weird, and I don't know how anybody thought this was a good idea. Not only did somebody think it was a good idea, but they thought it was a good enough idea to make it 50% of their content. That is weird. Y'all have to cut that out. I don't know how somebody saw that and was like, yeah, this is okay, we can upload this. I mean, I wouldn't even make that joke, and I made some outrageous jokes on this channel. And it sucks because that's an example of how like amazing the animation is. The character animation in that short is so good looking and expressive. I love that they use the black Stickbot with the white cups and the ice blue. They have little aspects of personality. Like, that is so good of a video. And it's just the worst joke ever. Also, to tie in with the restructuring thing, I noticed on the Stickbot Studio account, the first short they have is the 3D chicken jockey one they did. So I don't know if there's a connection there, but I thought I'd point that out. I forgot to mention, Chicken Banana is an absolutely goated short. I think chicken, like, that's bordering on brain rot. That's another example of what they should be doing, if you get what I'm saying. Also, I was talking to Clay about this, and he said that a lot of people want them to release the 2D animation rigs that they're using for these. And actually, as I was watching, I was wondering if they're rigged. I don't fully understand how rigged 2D animation works, but there's a lot of, like, they swap out the pieces of the Stickbots. It looks like the cord might actually be, it's very interesting. A lot of people want them to release the 2D animation rigs for the community to use. I think that is an amazing idea. They did that with the official Stickbot 3D models, and they should totally do it with the 2D ones. They should always be encouraging alternative forms of content, making Stickbots look more appealing to a wider range of animation fans. I'm sure this just wasn't even something they considered, but if they're watching this video, I think it is something they should totally do and the community would love it. Maybe they could even do like a 2D animation contest or something to go along with it. No, they wouldn't. What is this, 2017 Stickbot Central? They would never do that. Along with that, Clay suggested that they do What the Bots in this style. That kind of goes along with my idea of like making more skits, you know? Because a full series done in 2D, as cool as it would be, considering, like I said, the animation is really good and expressive when it wants to be, a full series would straight up bankrupt them. They cannot afford that. But like What the Bot style skits would be perfect for this animation form, and it looks, I don't want to say it looks cheap, but it looks cheap to make. Like I said, it is clearly designed to be repurposed. I really think that's the right direction to go. Clay also said this could be used as ads, maybe for like the Off the Grid prequel, and that's also a pretty good idea. I want to call the 2D Stickbot shorts a mixed bag, but when you have a mixed bag, that implies there is an equivalent amount of each quality of item in the bag. That is factually incorrect. There are like a solid 3 shorts that they've done with the 2D style that don't make you cringe, want to tear out your eyes, or stab your ears. So overall, these shorts suck. But to be absolutely fair, it is in its early phases. And if you go and look back at the early phases of stop motion Stickbot Central, it took them like a full year to actually start making good content. They were riding off the high of the Stickbot popularity boom. The content was not good. We are just really nostalgic. And I know the chances of somebody who is working on these or can talk to somebody working on these watching this video is pretty much zero. But on the really, really off chance that's the case, listen, I really want this to succeed. I apologize if this video came off as hateful. I'm trying very hard to be constructive. Y'all just aren't giving me a lot to work with. I highly suggest taking at least a few of these talking points, really just the flirting one, into consideration. There's a lot of room to grow with this animation style, and honestly, I'm not that excited for the future. I feel like they're just going to continue making terrible shorts until the people working on them quit and they go on to another type of animation and the cycle repeats itself. But hey, until then, let me know what you guys think of these shorts in the comments down below. I would really love to open a discussion about this. If you're interested in joining my Discord server or following any of my socials, those links will of course be in the description. Keep on honking Muggy Slam sandwiches, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.